What is up, my valid peeps? Kadiant here, and happy Pride Month. Last month, Kamen Rider Gavv saw the debut of its eponymous rider's final forms, Overmode and Master Mode. To celebrate Pride Month this year, I'm taking a closer look at the debut episode of the latter, given the queer coding of the messaging present in it. With all that being said, let's get started. This continues on directly from the end of episode 35, Zero Sweetness, Lango the Cast Iron Wall, which saw him carry out a mass kidnapping and anthropressing of thousands of people in order to fulfill Bokajal'dak's order of 10 billion premium dark snacks. After he anthropressed an entire plane's worth of people and blew up the plane, he fought the main trio of riders and managed to easily take care of them in just his human form, even debuting his full monster form, forcing the rider trio to retreat after Gavv Overmode reached its limit. During this fight, we learned how the older trio of stomach siblings reacted to Shoma's birth, which was visibly not in a positive light whatsoever, and Lango called Shoma's very existence a mistake right to his face. Entering episode 36, Reversal's Awakening's Master Gavv, Shoma helps Hanto and Lakia recover at the latter's base, formerly Suga's, first aid kit in hand. Hanto asks Shoma if what Lango said to Shoma was bothering him, which he responds that it isn't and that he's okay, switching his attention to Lakia a moment later, who's bothered by how his toxins he formerly used to kidnap and anthropress people for the stomach company are being used to kidnap and anthropress so many people now. Hanto suggests informing the public about the Granutes, in order to keep them informed and prepared for future Granute incidents. Shoma agrees to this before leaving, and Hanto prepares a post online in response. Shoma arrives back at Happy Pare, meeting Sachika, who gives him a bunch of snacks to eat to refill the Gotchi pod. Back at Lakia's base, comments start coming in on Hanto's post, calling the Kamen Riders monsters, and saying they need to go, a direct consequence of Bitter Gavv's attacks in the previous arc, and Hanto wants to make sure Shoma doesn't see those comments. The following day, after receiving a message from Jeeb informing them of Lango's next anthropressing target, a concert hall that Sachika's friend Ritsu is supposed to be attending a concert at later that day, Ritsu arrives at Happy Pare, coming to pick up some stuff that Shoma and Sachika helped her make for the concert, the two trying to discourage her from going due to the recent mass disappearances, which doesn't work before she heads off. Following this, Shoma is still thinking about what Lango said to him in their previous fight, visibly bothered by it, and Hanto, seeing this, checks his post online again, seeing new comments, and runs up to Shoma with the post to show him them. Unlike what Hanto saw the night before, Shoma sees a whole bunch of positive comments about the Kamen Riders, how they've kept people safe and have saved people from Granutes countless times, including comments from people who were once kidnapped themselves, one being from the mother of the kid who was nearly kidnapped in episode 1. Realizing how many people there are out there putting their faith in him, Shoma heads out with Hanto, Lakia and Sachika to put a stop to Lango's plans. Outside the concert venue, Sachika hands the rider trio tickets to gain entry to it, which she acquired after people were scared off and cancelled their tickets thanks to Hanto's Granute expose. After the trio look around and meet back in the concert hall having found nothing, the lights suddenly go off and red bubbles start floating down, containing Lakia's toxin, putting the audience present to sleep and making them happy. Shoma, Hanto and Lakia are safe from this thanks to putting on gas masks provided to them by Shoma's great uncle Dente, before the lights turn back on and staff members, revealed to be Granutes, start anthropressing people. Hanto transforms to fight the Granutes themselves, Lakia transforms to fight Lango's agents that arrive to collect the anthropresses, and Shoma runs to go and confront Lango himself. Their pre-transformation conversation was my primary fuel for making this video, so let's get into that. Shoma declares Lango will have to get through him to get to the other riders, and Lango reminds Shoma of how their fight went the previous day, saying he's not even worth fighting. The next bit, I'll just let it play out. Credit to my friends Stacy, Red Eyes and Android for dubbing over Shoma, Lango and Shoma's mom here respectively.
Brother, there you go again. Talking like my existence is just a mistake.
What about it?
You said the same thing when I was a kid.
You're in the way. You know, your whole existence is a mistake.
Back then, all I could do was cry to my mom about it. But now... whether I was a mistake or not, I know there are people who care for me. People who have faith in me. There are people who've helped me along, too. So I could use the powers I have. So I could eat great food. So I could feel happiness. Maybe being a stomach. Being born your little brother was the only mistake. But the person I've become through it all, the Shoma that I am, is the person I'm proudest to be.
With a promise to protect and keep safe the world that made him who he is, along with its people, Shoma turns into Gavv Master Mode for the first time. Lango turns into his full monster form, and the two fight. It's an absolute spectacle to behold, Shoma switching between Master Mode and Over Mode and vice versa throughout it, each form's strengths covering for the other's weaknesses. Not only does he manage to get through Lango's seemingly absolute force field, but he also manages to slash out one of his eyes. The fight ends with Shoma finishing off Lango using a couple Master Boosts, defeating him but leaving his true fate uncertain for now. With Hanto and Lakia having finished off their own enemies, the three riders meet back up with Sachika and Ritsu following the end of the latter's concert, and everything ends well as all of them head off to celebrate and the episode ends. This was a fantastic final form debut, definitely the best one we've had in Reiwa so far. Not only does it surpass Rainbow Gotchard's debut from last year, I'd say it surpasses Zero Two's from half a decade ago as well. Heck, I'd even say Geats 9 too. Gavv has shown itself to be incredibly competent when it comes to its character writing, and this episode is incredibly solid proof of that. It's a culmination of all of Shoma's development so far, and his overall queer coding is really put on display in this episode. Shoma seeming to be unbothered by Lango's comments at the start of the episode, but later being shown to still be bothered by them, reflects in how even the smallest bigoted comments can become internalized and hurt and stay with us queer folk over a long period of time, and it can take just as long to unlearn, especially if you've been exposed to it for a long time, and even more so if you have to live with people that constantly spout it. Adjacent to this, the online reactions to Hanto's Granute expose is another such example of Shoman's queer coding. While there are some negative comments on it, calling the Kamen Riders monsters and saying they need to go, there are also many positive comments about how the Kamen Riders have kept people safe and saved people from monsters numerous times. This is reflected in reality as well. With how much negativity queer people like me get for simply existing, there's a whole lot more positivity out there for us too. Despite how loud the bigots can seem, they are far outnumbered by the people who will stand by and support us, and it's the sort of thing that we queer folk love to see and really need. Shoma's reaction to these positive comments, seeing how many people there are putting their faith in him as a Kamen Rider, can definitely be seen as a reflection of that, and it's great to see. Shoma's pre-transformation confrontation with Lango several minutes later can also be reflected in the queer experience. All his younger life before he escaped the Granute Realm, Shoma faced severe abuse from Lango and the other stomachs for being half-human, having his very existence be called a mistake. Having since escaped the human realm, he initially hid his half-Granute side from the people he grew close with for a good while, out of the fear that he'd face the same negative backlash he did from his own biological family. Rather than backlash though, when they found out, they accepted him for who he was, finding a new, found family in Sachika, Hanto, and Lakia. And even despite his differences from his biological family, he's proud of the person he's become, and wants to put an end to the stomach schemes once and for all. Very often, us queer folk will hide who we are from the people around us and wider society, including our own biological family and those that raised us, in fear that we will be discriminated against simply for being different, especially in cases where said people are openly queerphobic. When we come out to those people and face discrimination like that, it can make us feel horrible and less than human. Over time though, we can get away from those that would think less of us for our differences, and in many cases find people that will accept us for who we are, and treat us with the kindness and respect we deserve, becoming a new, found family to us. Together with those people, we can become proud of who we are, and help to make a difference in this world, despite how cruel it can often be. While the lens I saw this episode through was a definitively queer one, I will acknowledge it could also be seen through the perspective of other marginalised groups who've had to suffer simply for being different from the rest of society. The messages that this episode conveyed hit really deep for me, and I feel are really important and needed ones, especially in the world we live in today. They exemplify what makes Shoma such a wonderful protagonist for this current season of Kamen Rider, and I'm proud to affectionately call him my gummy-son. I'm so incredibly thankful to Kamen Rider Gavv for teaching viewers of all ages, genders and backgrounds such valuable lessons over these past 9.5 months. Not just from this episode, but other lessons from other parts of the show too. Amongst all of them, episodes 5, 8, 22 and 28 are ones that particularly come to mind. I hope the last 2.5 months of this show will stay just as good as it has been so far, and that it will end up becoming a fan favourite Kamen Rider series beloved by many. I know for me it will. And that was my analysis of Gavv Master Mode's debut. This year's Pride Month video took ages to come up with the idea for. Admittedly, I was going to forego it this year due to a lack of any, but after seeing episode 36, I couldn't resist the opportunity given how much I resonated with the messages the episode conveyed. I have no idea how I didn't think of any ideas for a Pride Month video sooner, given how incredibly queer-coded Gavv has been in general, but there you go. Thank you very much to the crew at GeoSubs for the basis of the lines in the dubbed clip from episode 36, and to my friends Stacy, Red Eyes and Android for the dubbing itself. I'll put all their socials on screen and down in the description. I'd like to give an additional thank you to all of my other friends at Team Muteki Dubs, for being the fan family I never thought I'd find or have. I hope to meet all of y'all in person someday, y'all are awesome. Our group's socials will be on screen now and down in the description. As I reach the end of this video, on top of all of the lessons mentioned thus far, I would like to offer some advice to all of your valid peeps on the other side of the screen who may be watching this while stuck with people who won't accept you for who you are, especially those of you in the USA. I know how things may seem scary right now, and how things may seem like they can only go downhill from here. I want to assure you, I may be from the UK, but I see you, I see every single one of you. Your struggle is valid, and there are plenty of people out there fighting for your existence and your right to exist. If you feel like you're a bad person for being stuck with unaccepting family members, I want you to know this. You're not alone, and you are neither the people who raised you or the people you live with. You're your own unique person capable of so many things, of changing this world for the better. As long as you keep fighting for you, you'll get out of there and find people who will accept you for who you are. Maybe found family? Who knows? I'm proud of you for existing, and you should be too. I may not be a mum myself, but if your mum doesn't accept you for who you are, I'm your mum now, I don't make the rules. With all of that being said, have a very safe and happy Pride Month, my valid peeps. Like, comment, subscribe and share this video, and with all of that being said, I shall see all of you next time.